and gentlemen, welcome to this final day of the OWLET tournament. I am your caster, Hotohori, and today we've got a great matchup here between Transcendent and OASIS E-Sports. Let's go to the game preview, and we today have 4 maps, and casting today with me is Pulse. How are you doing, Pulse?
Hey, Hodo. I'm doing fine.
So the 4 maps today are Rialto, Temple of Anubis, Nepal, and Eichenwald. It is a best of 4. If we are tied at 2, we will be going to a tiebreaker map on Ilios. Pulse, what do you think of these 4 maps that we have upcoming here for these 2 teams?
These are some maps. I know a lot of teams in particular really aren't huge fans of Temple of Anubis. Nepal is kind of polarizing just because it's a pretty wide variety of strategies that you can run on it. It differs sort of by point. And then Eichenwald's sort of half and half. I know people that really hate it. I know people that really like it. So depending on how good each team looks on each map, we could see a total wipe, or we could see some really even matches. But it depends on how much these teams like these maps and how much sort of they've been practicing them.
Yeah, I mean, like, these are out of the map selection for this stage. I think this is the best example of a polarizing map pool for the weekend. It just happens to fall on the final day. Let's take a look at the overall standings here, as it is the final day of Stage 4, and playoffs have been determined. So OASIS and Transcendent, unfortunately, are on the outside looking in. OASIS Esports losing on Sunday to Rinse and Shine. That pretty much eliminated them because OASIS has a 0 map differential compared to Rinse and Shine's plus 18. And Transcendent was coming in for Aftermath and had an outside shot if they were to sweep win this entire stage, but because they were the new kids on the block, unfortunately that wasn't going to happen. Let's take a tail of the tape of the 2 teams here. So Transcendent in Stage 4 have a pretty decent record on all of the map types, 2-2 on Assault, 3-1 on Hybrid, 4-0 on Escort, and then it's Control where they have issues. Where you look at OASIS, they're pretty even across the board on all of the map types, so it looks like we're going to be in for a pretty decent game between the 2 teams, Pulse.
Yeah, if you look at sort of Transcendence, they have a really strong showing on Escort, whereas OASIS doesn't. So I think that's really sort of the map that Transcendence wants to pick up going into the half. And also, Transcendent is 3-1 on Hybrid Escort. So that tells me that they're probably a little bit more accustomed to Escort maps and maybe taking fights away from the payload to secure wins. And I think that's probably where their strong suit is coming into this map pool.
Yep, and then let's just take a look at the tail of the tape on the map type. You'll see Transcendent 2-0 on 3 out of the 4 maps, but it's Nepal where they have issues, whereas OASIS Esports looking fairly even on most of the maps, but they also have issues on Nepal. So this the King of the Hill matchup on Nepal might be very interesting to watch both of these teams who do not like, it seems like, this map to go at it. But it looks like both teams are going to be ready to go, and when we come back, it will be Transcendent on defense and OASIS on offense here on Rialto. Stay tuned. We'll take you to round 1 of this match in the OWLET tournament. Alrighty, folks, welcome to Rialto. You'll notice something a little different here on my stream. You'll see a little black bar with some yellow words and letters on them. That is actually your game ticker I added it in at the beginning of Stage 4. I probably should have done it at the beginning of Stage 1, but I didn't really think about it. But since we do have a whole bunch of games going on today, it'll recap the scores that are going on around the league, as you can sort of pay attention to my stream, watch this game, and know what is going on. Biggest upset of the day so far, it is Monkey 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 up 3-0 on Don't Envy Us. So big play there by Monkey Monkey Monkey. MX3 struggling for most of the stage. Finally looks like they will get a win here in the OWLET tournament. That is not a forfeit. So fantastic. Congratulations to them on the final day here of the OWLET tournament. But now, our game right now is Transcendent and OASIS E-Sports. Transcendent here will be on defense and OASIS here on offense. What do you expect here coming out from Transcendent here, Pulse?
Well, last time I casted with you, actually, we saw Transcendence on Rialto, and they looked pretty strong. They were just running some pretty normal strats. But I'd expect with these teams, probably it looks like some 2-2-2, maybe some pirate ship coming out on the attack to see how far they can get it. But we all know right now that Doomfist is the player to keep an eye on in the current meta, and it's just because of all the displacement he can give and all of the additional one-shot potential. So you really want to keep an eye on El Pinguino as they start this sort of slambulance defense, or this 3-3-3 or trip comp.
Yeah, and it looks like here they're going to be trying the Finland strat, which is basically coming right into to the faces here of OASIS E-Sports. They're looks like they automatically have already taken out 2. El Pinguino, the man to watch, he called it, got 3 kills, huge kills there to start off with, and it looks like OE are going to be stuck here in spawn.
Exactly, that Bastion they wanted to get control of the cart and use it to push through, but Bastion is particularly weak against this because you can't really do much when you have 4 tanks just plowing you in the face. This is a little bit of a modified version of GOATs, or what people have been calling triple comp, where instead of the Lucio, they're actually running the Doomfist for additional sort of oomph in their swing.
Yeah, and the fight here is now engaging again. They get Purple Dragon out of the mech here, or right at the beginning, and it looks like here OE's finally getting a little bit of space here as kills now coming in from them. Blue the Ninja gets 2 and Grip gets 1, so it's finally looking like they're finally breaking down this sort of offensive, like defensive push here by Transcendent. They get everybody down, but look at that. They've killed 1 minute and 10 seconds off the clock already. That's a lot of time.
Yeah. El Pinguino used that Meteor Strike solely to get out, leaving Basil Icon to fend for himself on the cart. But now they're coming back as 4. And like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of interesting not having this Lucio here, because that forfeits a lot of healing and a lot of speed that sort of help the tanks get around. To deal with it, they've sort of switched off the Rhine to allow the Winston to get sort of backline control, but that Lucio still is a little bit leaving me worried for their comp right now.
Yeah, and Celery Man goes down, so less healing here, even in on the defense, but a good bomb here takes out Skeleton. There's a May ult here right now going to be on the point, but doesn't really get anyone as Grip and Raxling here take out 2 of the defenders, as it looks like they're going to keep moving here. Purple Dragon on the point here, trying to sort of hold it by herself on this D.Va. Finally, looks like somebody's going to come back. It looks like it's Hawksign here, along with Skeleton here on the hamster. Purple Dragon finally gets removed here. They kill a little bit more time, but I don't think it's going to stop them from getting point A, but it looks like they're already here on the bridge. Rally comes out from Celery Man here as the fight engages immediately right back, as it looks like they did stop their push from point A. Celery Man here going real deep into the back, trying to see if he can get anybody he can here, but unfortunately is not able to knock anybody down, but the rest of Transcendent here is actually on the point and defending. So good to them. They actually are able to stop the push here solid, as it looks like OE looks a little confused, but they do get Purple Dragon out of mech. So that is a huge loss, losing that defense matrix. Coalescence now comes out from Zenadine, and it looks like also a Graviton here is going to catch Lou the Ninja, but unfortunately no kills coming out on that Graviton. Another May ult here by Raxling here, trying to sort of freeze up anybody from Transcendent here on the point. Looks like Luxuriot is going to get bubbled and saved. He gets Graviton here, but he's the only one in there, but kills going in on the side of OASIS Esports as Hawksign pops the rally now just to finish off the fight. It looks like the Celery Man is actually still alive, sort of holding it on. Purple Dragon coming back again. They just won't give it up here on point A. Doomfist ult doesn't really get anybody, but is allowed to split up the team a little bit. But Lou and Hawksign finally are finishing off teams from Transcendent. The spawns are finally going to get them here, I think, as Luxuriot is not going to be able to come in and push. They finally get point A. Man, that fight kept going.
that was a really good example of, I think, why Transcendent's really good on escort maps, and it's because they were able to squeeze so many fights out of that. They got 3 really solid fights, each lasting around a minute and a half there, and they just always had a body on the payload to make sure that OASIS was unable to push it so steadily through the first point like so many teams want to do.
Yeah, and it looks like here they've actually now started taking the fight to Transcendent, as actually they've set up a minefield here on the far left, maybe just sort of just zoning them out a little bit. That's forced Transcendent here to go onto the high ground and given them some space here on the lower area to actually move around and do anything. Looks like another Mei ult comes out. They actually get rid of Zenadine here, so they lose the Mercy here on the back side, as it looks like Luxury Yacht here is in the middle of retreating, does not get out. Looks like Basilicon here on the Pharah is going to get immediately Elite 2. Big bomb here setting into the back. Nowhere to hide for Lou the Ninja, who immediately gets deleted. His bubble wasn't available, as it looks like they're going to still be able to push here, as Purple Dragon, though, trying to get onto Hawksign, and immediately Hawksign gets deleted out, as Purple Dragon is still alive, now getting the healing that they need. As Skeleton now is advancing onto the point. He's actually on the payload trying to keep it moving, but it looks like Transcendent here has got the hold that they wanted, as they're able to sort of push back the rest of OE here. This fight, no, it looks like they're going to go for a back cap. It looks like the Mei and Raxling were still trying to finish off the point, and a great minefield here right onto the point. There's nobody can do anything about it, as Basilicon gets immediately deleted there on the defense. That's going to give them some space here. They're going to capture point B, and now it looks like with 0.83 meters left, they've gotten point B. El Pinguino is the only one left. He's going to run into a mine, and then he's going to probably just die here.
Yeah, and that's the point B cap that we were looking for. Again, towards the end of that, Purple Dragon was just sitting on cart, making sure to deny them as much time as possible. But OASIS really figured out sort of what went wrong in A and fixed it in B. And that was, they were giving up too much space. They were letting Transcendent get onto the cart and really stall it out a lot, whereas now they're really pushing up into fights and making sure that they have one person on the cart just steadily pushing it all times.
Yeah, and you can see that the way that the fight is going, that OASIS is just moving up and just staying up in the face of Transcendent, which is really messing up their rhythm here, and it's not allowing them to get any of the space. Looks like a EMP comes out, doesn't really do anything there from Pinguino, as that payload now is in the doorway with 143 here left on the clock, and there is just nothing that Transcendent can do about it. This sort of change in aggressiveness here by OE is allowing them to all the space that they want here, as Purple Dragon is on the point again, trying to sort of hold them off. Gets immediately deleted there, and down they go, and all the kills are going here for OE. It looks like, will anybody be able to make it back in time? Good Mei wall there, as Basilicon is denied the payload, and point C is captured here. Great moves there by OASIS.
By pushing up into the team fights there and just letting them get space, they really solved a lot of issues they had on point A, sort of like I was saying earlier. And that aggression allowed them to not quite steamroll B, but definitely steamroll C, especially with as hard as a defensive point that is. And we also saw some really nice anti-stall tactics from Raxling with the Mei walls, and just in general, them taking advantage of Transcendent being spaced out as much as they were during fights. Generally, Purple Dragon would try and hold down cart, and they'd take the 6v5 and come back and make sure that they'd leave one person on, take the 5v5 and win that, and keep it going.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see the Mei on offense there. Usually a Mei is usually used on defense to actually stall, but the way that they were using the walls and then the way they were using the freezes in combinations with the graviton there at the end was very interesting, because it just didn't allow Transcendent to do anything. Like, they basically had built up the strategy on stalling the cart and making sure that it didn't move, but, you know, the combination of the two was absolutely fantastic, and not allowing them to just sort of sit on there and delay it. They were going to take damage, and they were going to take a lot of it if they didn't actually get off the point. So good stuff here by OASIS. They actually put 121 here in their time bank, so to have any amount of time on Rialto here, excuse me, is actually absolutely fantastic, because this is pretty much a defender's map. So like a lot of the time, people have been saying that this actually just caters more to the defenders than it does to the offense, but OASIS here doing a pretty decent job escorting the point here, escorting the payload to the point. Excuse me.
Yeah, and it looks like No, they switch off the Widow, but this is a much more standard comp that you see on Rialto with the pharmacy to make sure that they deny everything around the little building right outside the bridge. And also the Sombra, who's also the queen of the meta right now, because you can get in the back and make sure that the Roadhog, the Orisa, the Bridget aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And just turn them into giant sort of ult batteries.
Yeah. So it looks like here Oasis has not decided to actually be offensive here, so they've actually decided to sort of hold at the corner, and you have a Sombra actually trying to go into the back and try to get rid of Lu the Ninja, who's actually on Ana here instead of his normal Pharah. So, but Purple Dragon actually takes out the Symmetra sort of teleport here, and it looks like Transcendent's having some issues here getting through the little mini choke, as they've actually split up a little bit, but Purple Dragon has to be worried about where those teleporters are going to end up showing up, as the D.Va's been sort of focusing on that, and now they're starting to get this to move again as the rest of the team has started to come in. Basilicon here with Zenadine on the Pharah Pharmacy combo here. Doesn't have to really worry about a hit scan, because I don't think there is any on the side of Oasis, is there?
No, they just have the Ana, who can, in theory, take down a Pharah, but it's very hard for an Ana to take down a Pharmacy as long as they're using cover. Yeah. This is interesting, though, because El Pinguino, both fights sort of decloaked late. This fight is working out a lot better than it was in the first one, but the first fight, El Pinguino basically decloaked once the fight was already lost and sort of almost staggered out the team a little bit. Thankfully, though, with the speed boost from the Invis, she got back into the fight very quickly.
Yeah, and it looks like El Pinguino was able to take out Britboy, so a big kill here with no Brigitte here, that they're going to have some serious issues. It looks like Raxling here, we're sort of flanking here on the Roadhog, on the high ground, actually was able to catch Zenadine up in the air, as they've just basically been really doing a good job here stalling Transcendent from coming out. Looks like Celery Man actually jumped into the drink here, going for a reset. So it looks like Transcendent here having serious issues coming out of the spawn here in point A.
One of the weakest things about the comp that Oasis is running is the lack of really any control, and they fixed that by running the Symmetra with it, which is actually pretty cool use of her as a character, because the teleport lets the Orisa and the Hog get around really fast. It lets the Bridget get to the back line if you see someone's harassing your Ana, or like the Junkrat to even get into a very quick flank spot for a tire.
Yeah, and it looks like here they've decided to sort of flank around and combine EMP and the bomb here. They've done a really decent job, as El Pinguino got into the back there, was able to get rid of the Ana right away. And it looks like an ult here from Basilicon will actually get rid of 2 and the Bongo, and finally they've gotten their breakthrough here. They will come through the choke, but they've actually bought themselves another fight at the end, as Transcendent here looking ready, as they're actually camping point A, getting ready for Oasis to come right at them.
And they're doing exactly what they need to by holding this choke up forward, trying to make sure that anyone from Oasis can't really get through without taking a lot of poke damage.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're trying to do, but Purple Dragon actually lost the mech and went down. They're trying to move this payload as fast as they can, as Pinguino there holding the top, but Celeryman and Pinguino go down. Now it's going to be about 4v2, as it looks like Basilicon got immediately deleted, as it looks like we have a nanoed wrecking ball as Skeleton is chasing the rest of the members here of Transcendent, and a bomb comes in, but looks like it was a Junkrat tire was coming in, but it got immediately destroyed, so does not get the kill that they need. Oh, but Celeryman got booped off the bridge. He had switched over to the Reinhardt and was charging in, but immediately got booped off by Luxury Yacht, and down goes Raxling too. Oh my goodness, so Luxury Yacht actually gets the Enviro kill here, but no spawn here from the Roadhog as they're coming in. Looks like a Lucio ult here comes in, as now the shield comes up from Symmetra as they're trying to sort of split the spawn here. But looks like Zenadine gets Basilicon back up, and Luxury Yacht actually got Britboy out also, as it looks like this fight is going to be won here by Transcendent. They're going to cap point A unless Raxling and Lu the Ninja can do something miraculous here, but it doesn't look like it. They're outnumbered here onto the point. They can't kill him quickly though, so this might be a bit of a problem. But it looks like Basilicon getting another barrage. That must be the third barrage here that I've seen that's come up from the Pharah, as it looks like they've cleared out point A finally, and now are onto the point B push.
At this point, I think the Symmetra won't be as potentially good, especially since they're switching off the Hog, and also because there's just less verticality, so you don't really need it, and it might be, if they stay on it too long, might be a source of weakness for them. However, they're still trying to use the teleport to get into some crazy flank spots and some places that you wouldn't expect to see their team move around so quickly too. So that might be towards their advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So now it looks like Skeleton here on the Hamster was able to get rid of Celery Man here as he's being very, very aggressive. As it looks like they're trying to drop the mines here right on the payload. Look at the spread of the mines all over the payloads. Great job there by the Hamster, by Hammond here. Finally, ult's coming out here from Oasis here, and they're just stalling out. Transcendent really just killing them one by one here, but that minefield spread there really messed up what Transcendent was trying to sort of do and push in. And now it looks like with 1:30 here left on the clock, they're going to have to reset again.
It looks like Oasis is really playing to their strengths here and sort of using these more unorthodox compositions that you'd see on Rialto to make sure that they really just keep catching Transcendence off on the wrong foot. Really, between the May walls, between the Hamster disruption, and between the Rat and Symmetra, it's just Oasis or Transcendence sort of getting thrown around a lot in these fights and can't really get their footing and focus targets as well as they should be.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And now it looks like Hawksign is down to just 1 health. He gets deleted right now, and it looks like the hack here comes onto the Hammond, and the Hammond actually goes down. They're able to sort of wipe out the remaining members here of OE as they've got to sort of back up. Grip now just sort of holding the ground here, but he's got a Pharah up in the air sort of targeting. He does get El Pinguino with that mine, so the spam damage comes in. Now Raxling is here up on top, looking for to build up some ult here and maybe to freeze them here on the point, but Grip gets both supports here into the back. That's a huge kill, and that's going to signal OE to sort of move forward here. There's no healing here on the side of Transcendent. With only 20 seconds left, they're going to have to wait for their supports to come through. Looks like Celery Man here is going to be isolated, a little bit frozen. It looks like Raxling has also built up his ult, but he got deleted. He's not going to be able to use it here in this fight as Purple Dragon and Pinguino come back in with 2 big kills as Hawksign finishes off Celery Man here. The main tank down here for Transcendent as they sort of come in. Skelkin is nanoed here onto the point. He's trying to build up his ult, and he's actually got it. He's going to try to drop a minefield here again right here on the payload to try to prevent Transcendent from actually moving it in. Another freeze ult here coming out will catch Purple Dragon, and down goes Basilicon, but 2 members still from Transcendent here onto the point as this fight continues, but they're a little outnumbered. Luxury out here and Purple Dragon. Purple Dragon actually using the ult here will eliminate the teleporter as the fight will come on. Looks like some reinforcements here coming in from Transcendent as they're trying to continue this fight here onto the point. Big Anonade here will actually catch Zenadine in the back, and Purple Dragon gets Z-Mech, but the fight continues as Purple Dragon's trying to hold on. Mechless on the point. That's not going to last very long. Oasis here take Rialto 2-1. No, 3-1, excuse me.
Yeah, they got that 3rd point, which honestly, especially in a lot of forms of Overwatch, may have resulted in a little bit of tilting. You can't, when you see plays like that you just really don't expect, that can really throw your game off for an attack, no matter how well you practice it. But the things that Transcendence did really well, I think will carry over into the later escorts, and if Oasis isn't as well practiced, then it might throw them off there. They did a really good job of stalling fights when they were aggressive, so if they keep taking those fights and not letting Oasis just push on them for free, I think they have a really good chance to pull this back. Yeah,
they really do. So, like, but we're going to go into Temple here, which is going to be in a very interesting matchup. So Transcendent will look to tie up this match at 1 apiece, but Oasis here is the first team to draw blood in this match, so they get the win here on Rialto. When we come back, it will be Transcendent and Oasis here on the Temple of Anubis. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Could always use more heroes.
All right, folks, welcome to the Temple of Anubis. We do have a little bit of side switching and some subs here. So Dunkin' Donut will now be in here for Transcendent. My favorite name here on the side of Transcendent, as I do love donuts. So therefore, it will be Transcendent here on offense first, and it will be Oasis actually defending first. Here, so it's going to be switching it up. Temple of Anubis, though, is not one of my favorite maps, Pulse. And I know that people are very, very 2CP lull when it comes to this particular map. What do you expect to see here from Oasis and Transcendent?
So first of all, we see Duncan's in, and I feel like any team that's studied Transcendent knows Duncan means far.
Yeah.
And it's for a good reason. So they've had solid far play so far, and I really don't expect that to change anything. Also, Temple of Anubis for a lot of teams means Widow. So if we see the Widow switch off right as I say that, but generally a lot of teams will be ready for and prepped for a far on either their strategy or prepped for other teams having fars or for Widows. So it's kind of interesting that we actually don't see any out right now.
Yeah, it could be one of those things in which both teams here are just not very Widow friendly. So it's like, so I think if teams have been scouting each other and they know that there are no Widows here on both sides, then they know they can play sort of a Pharah, and Duncan is sort of free to sort of roam around and do what she needs to do here on the Pharah on offense. So it'll be interesting here. So it looks like Oasis is set up here with a Torbjorn, as Britboy will be setting up with the Torbjorn here, as Raxling actually gets rid of Celery Man right immediately, but Skelkin also goes down here. So losing that, and El Penguino getting big kills here on the offense. It looks like all the kills have been coming in through both Transcendent and Oasis here. It's sort of hard to sort of pay attention to what's been going on. It looks like Oasis here has sort of had to back up here onto the point. But Raxling here picks up both tanks as Purple Dragon and Celery Man both go down, and they're actually able to hold.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Raxling's play so far between this match and the last one. Between the Hog, the Mei, the really good use of Mei walls particularly, because that's not something you always see even if someone plays Mei. And then also just the popping off with Zen there. And anyone that, especially Hodo, since we play with each other a lot on our team, but Hodo knows that I enjoy my Mei play and my Zen play. Yes,
absolutely. It's a combination that Pulse absolutely loves here, as it looks like Transcendent will actually be moving in. They're going to try to get down and go straight to point here, as Zenadine is actually going to res Duncan here, who got taken out on the initial push. Raxling gets eliminated here, so they lose their Zen carry, as it says, as it might be. Duncan eliminates Britboy's turret, and Britboy himself goes down to Celery Man as they're actually going to come in. The rockets are coming in, and Luna Ninja here is actually by himself, trying to sort of delay on the point here. The ult here from Symmetra actually is splitting off the point, but I don't think it's going to come into play very much, as it looks like they've decided to just go on the other side of that barrier and kill the remaining members of Oasis.
Yeah, unfortunately Skeleton was firing in because of the movement speed reduction while firing. Couldn't quite get to the point where they're shield strafing with the Sim barrier, so it wasn't the most optimal use of Sim barrier there. But it looks like they're staying on it for the second point, so expect some turrets and expect a lot of flank denies from that Sim.
And here comes Basilicon here with the Junkrat tire, trying to sort of open up the fight right here. Immediately gets rid of Hawk Sign right away. So they lose their Symmetra and their Teleporter right now, but it seems like that they're going a little slowly than I thought that they were going to. Maybe they're a little wary here of the turrets that are going to be out. Britboy here on the Doomfist here, trying to sort of break up this sort of death pool run that they're going to try to come in here on Transcendent's side, as it looks like he's getting in there deep, and they're not going to be able to do anything about him as he eliminates Dunkin' Donut. Duncan, though, gets immediately res, as Zenadine actually is on the ball here with the reses. Immediately dives back in, and now he's been deleted. Celery Man got immediately eliminated here by Luther Ninja here, but as the Bongo goes down, Transcendent goes back, and it looks like once they lost their main tank, the push was over.
Yeah, that fight was almost closed out when Britboy just dove in and got eliminated, but they were able to turn it around with the Orisa bongo. And a lot of teams really underutilized that bongo, but once people got used to it, I feel like it's a lot stronger in team fights, and people know how to sort of play around it and know to respect it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like here they're waiting for all of their ults to sort of go in and push, and they're going to come in on the back of that dragon here. They've actually shifted most of Oasis over to the left side. They dropped the bongo themselves as they're trying to sort of defend it, but it looks like it will not come into play, as it looks like the Orisa was deleted here as a bomb comes in and eliminates both Grip and Hawksign. It looks like there's only Raxling here left on the outside. He gets the Transcendence off. They weren't able to kill him. So Raxling here able to sort of hold on, and that might be the difference here onto the point as Skeleton comes in and is going to be able to stall. The rest of Oasis here are going to be able to come in. I thought they were able to get at least a tick there, but great play there by Raxling to stay alive, use the Transcendence, and now Purple Dragon is going to, I think, going to stay alive. Maywall actually comes up. Hawksign gets eliminated again, and it looks like Transcendent here is stuck between two mines, but Purple Dragon immediately gets deleted, and now that push is over.
Right now, I think Transcendent really needs to be careful of Raxling, and that was an interesting play from the Zenyatta, because you saw that last fight open up with Raxling in a flanking position with the Zenyatta, which is something a lot of my friends like to do. But it's interesting because of that super aggro positioning. He was not taken down by any of the other ults, the Diva Bomb, the Pharah Barrage, and was able to come back and build up to that Transcendence and stalled out for his team. So good job, even though it was a very unorthodox play.
Yeah, and it basically saved them the point there, because he was able to get up his Transcendence and basically stall onto the point. But now here with the poke damage coming in, El Penguino got immediately sort of killed, and now it's going to sort of stall them up here on their push. Penguino has his dragon again, but there were some wholesale switches here coming in on the side of Transcendent. You'll notice the ult percentages actually from the team. They blew all of their ults there onto the point and weren't able to sort of get it. So therefore they've decided here on a sort of composition switch. You've got Duncan now here on the Reaper. Oh, and a big nade there. That grenade is huge, but a bomb actually comes in. But Celeryman got deleted before the bomb was able to do anything. Penguino got rid of Raxling, so they lose Raxling here for this push, and now the Mei ult here is just going to stall the rest of Transcendent from coming in. Purple Dragon got separated from the team. Penguino takes out Hawksign, but with the push already over, I don't think this is going to come into play.
Unfortunately, a lot of the kills that Transcendent is getting are sort of coming after fights have already been lost, or sort of in the interim between fights. So they're not really getting a lot of value from their kills, whereas Oasis is any kill that they get is almost a lost push for Transcendence. And that's why people really hate Temple of Anubis Point B, because it takes so long to get in, and if anything happens to your team as you go in, then it's just over instantly. Yeah,
you have to get the fight right or the fight is over, which sort of sucks. But like basically it's a sort of coordination check for the team. A Celeryman here trying to sort of keep that shield up to make sure, but we've got a nanoed Mei here as Britboy comes in, gets aggressive, and gets rid of Celeryman, and that's going to be actually the push here. There's nothing they're going to be able to do as Skeleton comes in with the mine and basically mines the front door and doesn't allow Transcendent from coming in. That push lasted all of 20 seconds here, and they're now going to have to stall back again.
The Nano Mei Styles came in, and even though they won that fight off of that, they still ended up using two more ults, the Tire and the Mine. So that means that Transcendent really has a chance to push on this last one. All they have left for Oasis is the Transcendence. So if they can get a good Dragon, maybe a good Moira ult, they still have a solid chance to win this.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be coming in through the left side here, and they're probably going to use the Dragon here to sort of come in and see if they can sort of wipe them off here off the point. El Penguino got Raxling here, and there is the Dragon, as we said, and is able to get both Hawksign, Lou the Ninja, and Britboy. They got 3 on that Dragon, so it looks like here this is their shot, as Skeleton here is going to try to get in and sort of hold this point. Coalescence now comes out from Transcendence as Raxling comes back here with the Transcendence again. as Transcendent is being outdone by a Transcendence. Oh, save that 3 times. Here comes the Diva Bomb here to try to see if they can catch any of them. Skeleton gets blown up, but the rest of Transcendent here are going to be wiped off the point, and they do not even get a tick. Great defense here by OASIS Esports.
Again, Raxling saving the Transcendence for last-minute stalls, staying alive, and then being able to stall it out completely by himself while he's invincible in that Transcendence. However, they had a really solid push, and they did exactly what we talked about, in that you needed to use those 2 fights, 2 ults, the Dragon and the Moira ult, to huge effect, which they did. They got the 3 picks. They're able to sort of get a foothold on the point, but you can't kill Zen while he's invincible, and he's stalling your clock, unfortunately.
Yeah, and unfortunately there, it's like, it's almost as if, like, Raxling had a sixth sense of knowing when stuff was going to come out, and Transcendent had no answer for it. Like, they would eliminate the rest of the team, and then Raxling would just sort of come in, I'm transcending on the point, there's nothing that you can do about it, and because the spawn is so close, 5 of us are going to be back here by the time I die, and that was that. And unfortunately, Transcendent was just unable to sort of break then the stall that was going to come out then from OASIS Esports. And as soon as you lose a person on point B, it is done. So now, it is Transcendent with only 1 point, as they now go on defense here. It looks like Duncan here coming out on the... I see a Bastion and a Duncan here trying to see maybe they could sort of hold up on the top here to sort of maybe stall out point A and maybe go for a full hold, Pulse?
It's very possible. You saw sort of a modified version of this from Oasis on defense, where they brought out the Torb first point, but Bastion's sort of like that level 3 turret that Torb has, where he can't move around, shoot people, and sort of flank and give armor, but does a heck of a lot more damage and is a lot harder to take down with that ironclad passive. So if they play this right and are able to pocket the Bastion correctly between Zenadine and... Ooh, they're actually only running the Mercy, though, so this is sort of a weakness of this comp, where you're running 1 support. You need to keep this Bastion alive, and you need to keep the Orisa alive for the shield, or else you're going to fall pretty fast. So they need to keep Zenadine alive by association there in order to make sure the team stays healthy. If they can keep picking them off as they walk through this choke, they have this fight. But if once they get through and are able to sort of pressure that Bastion and Orisa, that's when they're going to start having trouble.
Oh, it looks like they've all gone to the right here, too, so it's going to be a bit of a shooting gallery here for Duncan. It looks like they've actually positioned the teleporter here. I think that teleporter was supposed to go above, not below, but it looks like Basilicon here is able to sort of wipe out everybody as they're sort of coming through, so that's not going to work here. That first push is going to be done here, as it looks like they've actually been able to sort of rotate out and kill the rest here of Oasis here, so nothing doing here on the first push. Let's see how they figure out how to break this now.
If they are patient, it looks like they're swapping off the sim now. But I think what they tried to do and what I tried to say was that they tried to teleport up through the Genji flank all the way around point and make their way back. But the teleporter didn't quite lock on, and they ended up just dropping in, getting sort of trapped in that little corner with the Bastion, which is something you really don't want. They're going to a much more sort of, I would say, traditional, but Hammond wasn't part of the traditional dive, but they're going to a lot more dive-y comp, so that they can hopefully take down this Bastion before the Bastion takes them down.
Yeah, and it's interesting here. So they've opted for the Hammond instead of the Winston here, and with the amount of shields, that sort of adaptive shield that Hammond has, he's going to sort of jump in or not. It looks like he's going immediately to the point instead, as a tire here comes out from Basilicon, who's going to eliminate no one with it yet, as Dunkin' Donut actually takes out Britboy and Hawksign's mech. As it looks like Purple Dragon here is just trying to finish off Lou the Ninja and Hawksign here on the point, as Lou the Ninja here actually is running for her life right now, as he's immediately in the back here trying to sort of stay alive. Oh, a Dragon comes in and is able to get Basilicon here, but Lou the Ninja finally gets deleted as Raxling trying to stay alive. They lose their Junkrat, which might be a big pick in the end, but no, the res is actually used for Basilicon here, and now we're down to about 143. They're still holding here, Pulse. Can they? What other adjustments here can they make?
They're sort of running one of those comps that I like to call a wishy-washy comp, and they're dedicating probably what a lot of players are really good at, but this is a scenario where you want a comp that synergizes well to take down the Bastion. It doesn't matter what your team's good at. If you can pull off the Trip, the Lucio, Moira, Brig like they're pulling out now, that's what you want. If you can do a serviceable dive, you want to take care of that. But so far, they've just sort of been running what they're good at into this, and it's very hard to take down a Bastion when you're just sort of running on what you hope can take it down rather than a strategy that's good to take it down.
Yeah, and it looks like here they just lost to Lucio, as it looks like Britboy went a little too far ahead from Steam. And without the healer here, it's going to make the push extremely hard. They're coalescing here, trying to try to use that to sort of push onto the point, but that's not going to actually get them through the doorway. But Raxling here is able to take out Celeryman. Now Duncan here comes out with the ult, but he blew herself up. It looks like as she blew up Skeleton, and that's immediately going to get rezzed, but it looks like Celeryman is going to be the one that's going to be rezzed, and not Duncan. So Duncan is actually off point here and is going to have to run back 30 seconds here. This is the opening I think OASIS Esports was looking for.
They really want to just speed boost as soon as they come through and push up, but they have to deal with the Dragon just as it comes out. However, since they res the Orisa and not the Bastion will have advantage from this sort of peeky hole into the point that you might be able to sneak in and start taking down Oasis before they even realize that he respawned.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Duncan has done. She's sort of set up here in the corner, trying to sort of take out everybody here on the point. She's not in a position that you can really attack her. There's only one person left, and it's only Raxling. No, Britboy here's here on the point too. Duncan trying to find a sort of a service position here to just sort of fire here on the point. She sort of have to run now, trying to avoid Lou the Ninja, who is trying to sort of get her down. El Pinguino here is now sort of backing up Bastion. It looks like a Diva Bomb comes in on the point. Lou the Ninja goes down as Duncan Donut here is now on the point, just firing away. They're not going to be able to stop her. They're going to get a point A hold here as Transcendent with the Bastion and great play and coordination actually full hold Oasis Esports and take Temple of Anubis 1-0.
Unfortunately, they weren't able to notice the Bastion as they spawned in, and because of that, I think that made the difference between getting the point A and getting the point B. But that was exactly what Transcendent was dealing with the flanking Zen on point B, where they just, every time they came in, they had no clue where the Zen was to take them out, and because of that, he always came in with a Transcendent to save the point for B. Yeah. So a little bit of their own medicine back at them, but again, they weren't able to deal with the Bastion because they were having some overall comp synergy issues. I think they were unable to get behind the Bastion, take it out, or even get into a position to isolate the Bastion. And once they swapped to the Goats, you saw a little bit of mitigation there, but again, it was almost too late at that point. They waited a little bit too long before they realized what they needed to do.
Yeah, and the thing about it is I thought that might have been a problem here when they rezzed the Orisa first instead of the Bastion, but instead it actually worked out really, really well for them. So they sort of lulled them into a sense of, hey, let's go to the point and just sort of see what's going on. Just to actually do a little bit of halftime show stuff here. I'm going to show the playoff breakdowns here. Both teams here haven't qualified for the playoffs, unfortunately. Oasis losing on Sunday, so they were eliminated. So for anybody that's interested in the playoff chase, this is the projected playoff seed positioning and matchups that are going on right now. There's actually a couple games that are going on right now that will actually determine who plays who, because Deadlock Gang and Rinse and Shine, Deadlock Gang needs to win their game against WSOL to avoid playing Microsoft Excelsior in the first round. Deadlock Gang originally had qualified from having the best record in the Snowy Division going forward in Stage 1 and 2, but have fallen off tremendously here in Stage 4 due to Diamond Graduation and some player swaps here. But Deadlock Gang looking like they might have to end up in 4th spot here if they are behind on WSOL. Rinse and Shine here are playing Furious Unicorns. That's not an automatic win either here. Furious Unicorns want to get a great tune-up here before their matchup, which looks like it's going to be against either Los Muertos or C4H. I think it's actually going to be C4H, honestly, because I think Muertos did win, but so did C4H, and their map differential is going to be much higher than Muertos. So it's going to be interesting here what we're going to see coming out from both teams. It looks like both teams here are going to take here a bio break as we go into halftime, and it is tied here 1-1 between Oasis and Transcendent. When we come back, it will be Nepal. Stay tuned.
You know, the world could always use more heroes.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Halftime is over, and now we are in the Sanctum of Nipple, as I like to say. And looks like not many changes here coming from either side. It looks like Pseudo is now in here as
Pseudo
Raxling.
is indeed for Raxling.
For Raxling, yeah. So therefore, they lose one May and gain another. So as it looks like Pseudo here will start off here on May, it looks like, but I'm not sure if that's going to be what they're going to be going up against. And it looks like Dunkin' Donut here on the Bastion again, but I don't know if these comps are actually real. Pulse, what are you expecting to see on a map like Sanctum here on Nepal?
Sanctum, I think, really shines with either pulled pork, which is Roadhog Orisa, or pure dive, which is some form of Winston Diva, maybe a Hammond for one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, you can run triple tank and sort of contest the inside and dominate that if you want, maybe with a Junkrat. But there's a lot of variance and strategies here. I think the Bastion's actually going to do them a lot of work if they play towards this inside and sort of use the Orisa shield to allow the Bastion just to shoot on their own point.
Yeah, and it looks like Basilicon here on the ult there will actually force the team to speed onto the point here and establish Duncan onto the point, but a Maywall immediately comes up and Duncan actually gets lifted onto the wall here, drops back behind the shield, and is able to just sort of fire in on the rest of the team with all of this healing and shielding going on. Oasis here not going to be able to get very much, I think, as Lu the Ninja finally gets Duncan out. Celery Man almost got booped off to the point there, was frozen, but now a rally already out from Lu the Ninja here as he's actually trying to sort of get in on the rest of Transcendent here. this fight has been hot and heavy immediately on the start off with ults already developing. Penguino already has the dragon here, and a Diva Bomb is actually being sent here as Britboy gets deleted right away, as it looks like this fight is actually going to end up being won here by Transcendent.
Yeah, so they got into the point, and while they didn't get the right ground, I think decision to go straight to point there, because I don't know if they expected the strategy to come out from OASIS Esports, but had they gone into that room, they would have died instantly just because of the Mei, the heavy tanky comp that would have dominated just running through the Orisa shield. They can keep the Mei here, and I think Mei is actually a solid pick against this comp, but you got to use that wall a little bit more carefully. The last wall that put Dunkin' Donut up into the air made it so that no one on their team could really attack them, while Dunkin' could keep shooting everyone on their team.
Yeah, and it looks like here they've opted for the long flank here on the side, and as a wall comes up, it's interesting. They're trying to sort of hide the way that they're coming into the point, as a dragon is actually going to come in right into the middle of all of them, as Penguino actually does get Britboy out, and Duncan actually demechs Skelkin. The hook actually catches Celery Man instead, and a Mei ult here will freeze everybody onto the point. But Pseudo only is able to get the freeze onto Celery Man. Basilicon actually gets Lou the Ninja off with a boop, as Duncan here comes in and is ulted here directly by Grip, and they immediately are able to get that Bastion off the point here. But the fight, I think, is already lost here for Oasis, as Britboy is trying to sort of hold on to the point. Purple Dragon here comes back. Skelkin actually comes back to see whether or not she can sort of win it 1v3, but immediately opts to just sort of jump out.
You're going to need to see a lot more heavy target focus with the comp that OASIS Esports is running. The Mei is really good, especially if she can get that cleave freeze off, but since they weren't really grouped up and they weren't making good use of the walls, they're sort of at a disadvantage right now, especially since they blew the Blizzard. They could have had a Blizzard coming into this fight, but they're going to need to be a lot careful if they want to keep running this Mei. Yeah,
they've already lost Britboy here, so they lose their... It looks like they lost their healer, so it looks like the Mei here is Basilicon's ready to boop her off, and down goes Suda, and they win it 100-0, unable to shake the Bastion off the point. Very unorthodox strategy, but I like it coming out of Transcendent.
Well, you know, they say if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And that Bastion worked wonders for them on Anubis, so it looks like they're going to keep running with it. They might switch to Pharah for this map because, again, Dunkin' Donuts loves the Pharah. But, you know, that's they found a groove. They might just stick with it.
I can sort of see it happening on Village. If they happen to lose this point and they go to Village, I think you can pretty much expect Duncan to go back possibly to the Bastion and then speed directly onto the point and then hide her on the point again, which is something that early Overwatch teams used to do on Nepal, which was very interesting, and it was pushed also by streamers like Seagull and stuff. So, and now it looks like Duncan's actually gone to the Reaper, so they're going to expect sort of heavy, heavy action onto the point, but it looks like they actually came out and are changing direction here. So Transcendent here not immediately going to the point. They've decided they want to go to the high ground, but the rest of Oasis Esports are probably wondering where Transcendent went to, and here they come, immediately engage off of the high ground as the fight starts. Penguino is able to get Hawksign down, and it looks like the fight here is really going to be onto the point. Grip gets Dunkin' Donut out, so they lose their big DPS. They're the Reaper here onto the point, but they're able to sort of reposition and move Oasis off of the point as Grip and the Hammond are actually pushed off, but Pseudo doing some work here, getting Basilicon and Penguino down. And as looks like now the Hammond is just going to be rotating, making sure that he gets anybody off the point here that has blue on them, and it will be Oasis Esports here taking the initial point.
A lot of people don't think of many maps as being good name maps, but I respect the Mei pick from Pseudo here, because even though it didn't work on Sanctum, they look a lot more coordinated with it here. This map is not the best map in Nepal for Mei, because that title belongs to Village, but this is probably the second best map, and it's because every single entrance to the point is conveniently Mei wall sized. So because they were running a lot slower, a lot like the Reaper, they had the Lucio, they had the Moira, because you can't really jump over walls with that, it's very effective at cutting off Transcendent's team from one another, and that's exactly how they want to play this map and how they want to deal with Transcendent.
Yeah, and they take out Celery Man early before anything actually happened. Luna Ninja here gets into the back, takes out Zenadine, and assures a Transcendent not going to be able to push here onto the point, as Oasis here is going to get some free charge as it looks like Purple Dragon and Dunkin' Donut here looking to actually just sort of get some poke damage, but Dunkin' actually gets eliminated here, and it's not going well at all here for Transcendent. As Skelkin got the big, the ult spread of the mines and was able to get the Reaper now. It's just a matter of eliminating all the remaining members here of the Transcendent. Big Earth Shatter here catches both Purple Dragon and Penguino, as the Monkey actually got, actually was knocked off and killed now here by Lou the Ninja, as it's going all wrong here, and it looks like Oasis here coming for revenge on Transcendent, as they are actually just getting trapped here. This is not the map, this doesn't look like the map that Transcendent was ready for, as they're now at 84%. Oasis here having their way on this point, really.
It looks like they've definitely much more practiced on this map. And it's, I think a big part of it is they managed to get the surprising far ult in the backline to kill Zenadine earlier, and then they stalled the push even further by using the Hammond mines. And then when they tried pushing after that, they got Rhine shattered. So Oasis is doing a really good job of cycling through ults to make sure that Transcendent never really has a chance to even get to point.
Yeah, and then this fight has really just gone the way of Oasis Esports. Overtime ticks down, and that's going to do it. Even on that last push, they nanoed the D.Va, who immediately was demech'd at the time. Like, they gave her the nano boost just as she was getting demech'd, so just bad luck on the usage of the ults there by Transcendence, and Oasis Esports gets 100-0 of their own here as we go into Village. And now, as I said, you might want to expect Dunkin' Donut here on the Bastion, and that is what we see here. I'm expecting her to just basically camp out here on the point with Celeryman and Zenadine.
I think what you need to expect from Oasis out right now is Hawksine's probably gonna switch to Pharah after they switch to Mercy after they speed boost out, and they're gonna try and run a pharmacy into this. If they've been paying attention, I think they really should be expecting a Bastion here, because it's something that it's not really new to the game of Overwatch. It's been something that's been happening since Season 1, running a Bastion here for a surprise early fight.
Yeah.
If they can make advantage of this Mei wall, get some good charges off of it, then that's how they shut down OASIS Esports and hopefully start building percentage and eventually build that into the win.
Well, it looks like here the engage actually started on the high ground, which is actually an interesting direction that Transcendent actually went. I would have thought they would have gone through the main doors instead to get directly onto the point, but instead they don't. And immediately that wall was splitting off the team and not allowing them to actually get the full barrage of the Bastion into the team here, and it's basically given the point here to Transcendent.
Yeah. And also Grip had a wonderful charge into Pseudo's Mei wall there to shut down, I believe, Purple Dragon. Mm-hmm. They used it to basically on a nade plus a charge to shut down one team, put down the Mei wall, and then just take the 5v6.
Yeah, and Britboy immediately was playing way too high, but Lou the Ninja in the back there was able to get the rest of the team coming out of the spawn there, gets Dunkin' Donut and Zenadine. We weren't able to catch it, but the kill feed says she got 2 as a charge comes in here as Oasis running havoc here on the comp here of Transcendent as they're getting pushed back here, and all the kills here going the way of Oasis Esports. They're having their way here on Village.
You mentioned it earlier with the Bastion, but the Bastion strat is to get high ground and then win that first fight with the high ground Bastion and the Rhine shield, and then use that to rotate the Bastion on the point. Because they didn't win that, I think this is the time that they really should switch off and maybe go to a pharmacy of their own, or maybe fully commit to Goats and just fight on point, which is running that 3 tank, 3 support, and just using the pure brawling power to win a point on fight. Win a fight on point.
I mean, I think they have to think of something here, because they're running out of percentage, and they have really nothing to sort of counter Lou, who's going to be in the air, sort of shooting his rockets and doing his thing here in the. As it looks like a Mei ult here is actually going to get right onto Oasis here, as it looks like Skeleton Lou the Ninja actually eliminates Dunkin' Donut here. It's just going all wrong here from Transcendent as they're trying to do their best here onto the point, but it looks like they're just taking the fights to them. Zenadine, Celeryman, and Penguino here get some kills of their own, and Penguino actually gets some more kills here, as it looks like it's just finally they're getting a sort of a hold onto this point, but Grip here coming back here, Basilicon trying to get Grip down. Finally, they are able to get the point as Transcendent finally win that point, as Purple Dragon was able to sort of get rid of the 2 points, and now we have the Bastion here on the point in the corner. There's no shield yet, but that shield will be incoming shortly with the arrival of a Reinhardt.
Unfortunately, even though they got the point, unfortunately, this is sort of the situation they wanted to be at when it was still 0-0. So they have a lot of work to catch up, but that doesn't say that this is completely a lost game. This is a strong place for the Bastion to be, and Oasis used up pretty much every ult they had except for the Ana boost in that last fight. And they tried to do it to make sure they couldn't get to point, but they still got it, and they used up pretty much everything they had in the process. So right now, this is probably the most favorable position Transcendent could find themselves in at this point.
Yeah, as it looks like here. Oh, and they nano boosted Grip, who uses the Earth Shatter and just goes all in and completely committed all the resources to taking out Dunkin' Donut. That's one way to break it. Good job there by Grip. And now that aggression here from OE is actually going to try to push the remaining members here of Transcendent off the point. Purple Dragon trying to stay alive here on the point. It's not going to happen as they go down at 99%. Can anybody get back here from Transcendent? The wall will shut that down, and immediately they get them down, and it is OASIS Esports here taking Nepal 2-1.
Yeah. Like I said, the strongest position for that Bastion to be is to win an early fight, get percentage build quickly, and when that did happen, that was probably the time they should have swapped off the comp. Because of this charge and this nano boost that you see, it allowed them just to easily flip it right back. Grip had a pretty high percentage or high ult charge already, and then once it got nano boost, it just instantly shot to 100, allowing him to get the shatter and just wreak havoc on Transcendent there.
Yeah, and the Bastion games here from Transcendent, unfortunately, not working there on Nepal on Nepal Village. There, they did get a 100-0 on the Sanctum there, but nothing doing there on point C on the third point there of Nepal. So we go into our fourth map here with OASIS Esports up 2-1 on Transcendent. We're going to Eichenwald here, with a hybrid map, which is Transcendent is actually very good at escort and hybrid maps here, so it's going to be interesting. Oasis here looking to close out their season here on a victory, but they really do have a game up for them. So Transcendent here doing their best to sort of not give OASIS Esports here a victory here in the final game here of the OWLET tournament. So when we come back, it will be Eichenwald, Oasis up on Transcendent 2-1.
The world could always use more heroes.
never good, especially against.
Alrighty, folks, and welcome to Eichenwald. We are in Germany here for our fourth map. OASIS E-Sports up 2-1 here on Transcendent. Some score updates here. The last score that I had, Monkey gets a 4-0 win here against Don't Envy Us. Deadlock Gang and WSOL were tied at 2. Last I heard, I did not see the scores, and I don't have an update on the Rinse and Shine FU match. That is still in progress from what I understand, and no scores coming in from Naptime, Microsoft Excelsior, and TR Top Ramen and Lotus. So, Pulse, Eichenwald here is a 50-50 map. It's a hybrid, as they're going to have to take point A and then escort the payload here into Eichenwald Castle. Transcendent here on offense, they need to win this match. What do you think that they're going to come out with here?
I want to begin with that it looks like the WSOL and Deadlock Gang match is over.
It is? Oh.
Yeah, so it looks like there's some discussion going on in match, so you might want to double check on that score while I sort of talk about some Eichenwald.
Oh, it is. WSOL beat Deadlock Gang 3-2. That's right. It is 3-2. That is the score. Sorry.
That's fine. But Eichenwald is one of those maps where I think just based on map score, it has a pretty good chance of going towards Transcendent, especially if neither team practice it or both teams practice it. That's just because in the past they've had strong showings on escort parts of maps. But we saw Transcendent get shut down early because of some really good aggression by Oasis. If they're able to do that again, it might just be a quick sort of GG 3-1. So as long as they're able to deal with this aggression, this is... we see some dancing going on.
I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. I think they're just messing with us at this point. It is the end of the season, so I think everybody has gotten together. I am not exactly sure why. I think I am not in on the joke. Are they going to... There we go.
And there's the call for beginning.
As Purple Dragon is able to get 2 out. They know it's the end of the season. They're just having some fun here, and Transcendent here is able to kill the rest of OASIS Esports. They gathered up on the bridge. There must have been some discussion there from us as we were discussing some of the scores here. And they're
I wanted to talk about that Torb coming in, but when the dancing started happening, I really had to just take a moment and appreciate it, because it's always fun. Everyone knows it's like the end of the school year. Everyone knows it's coming.
Yeah.
And it's just, you got to take a minute and appreciate it.
So it looks like here, the Torb actually is they're going to set up a Killdozer and try to move in on that. So it's interesting here, the Doomfist now is actually, from Oasis, is probably going to try to defend against that, as Duncan actually loses the turret here on the payload, as they're actually getting attacked on here, as it looks like the rest of Transcendent here is getting rained on by stuff, but it looks like the Silicon was able to get Lou the Ninja out, and Grip and Hawksign here running the double shield tank on defense here. Look at this, like a Orisa Rhine combo.
Orisa Rhine for the Torb Bastion.
Yeah, very much so. So very interesting here. So they're gonna have to destroy all of those shields in order to get through what OE is actually going to be setting up here. That looks like a tire here coming in from Purple Dragon, trying to maybe sort of destroy anything. That tire is actually going all the way into the back. So let's see if we can follow it out. Oh, actually got to the Orisa and didn't actually do anything. As now it looks like we're with Dunkin' Donut, who's trying to set up another turret here onto the payload. She'll get the turret up, as Pellegrino is actually going to open some space, but Lou there with a big ult is able to sort of knock down 2, it looks like. Yep, looks like Dunkin' Donut, Hawksign, and looks like Luxury Yacht all go down. Zenadine here gets a fire strike to the face, and that's going to do it. Oasis here going to hold again, but 3:49 here on the clock, plenty of time to go.
Yeah, especially having that first point dance party, easy clap, point A take, you know. They have a little bit extra time to play with. I don't know if it was intentional, but they probably did that in order to run the Torb. Had figured they'd have spawn advantage, take it, and then try and set up a Killdozer. But unfortunately, the Killdozer here has very little high ground control, so If I don't know exactly what's happening this match, but if it's still going
You know, I have
in this way, we might see, you know, 9-9 or 9-8.
You know,
Something
I
like
don't
that.
think it's necessarily that. I think they're trying to sort of stretch us out here as much as we can. So it looks like they're trying to just sort of make sure that they get a little bit of fight in here and there, but 6v6, I don't think we're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see Transcendent here actually push the payload. Grip is completely away from the rest of his team. So the Killdozer here in full force here from Transcendent with the Bastion and the Torb. And it's very interesting. Oh, a big Earthshatter here with a May Freeze right at point B, and they're able to wipe them all out. Good combination ults with the Bongo there. They just sort of blow everything right before point B takes, point 55. So Oasis there preventing Transcendent from capping point B.
I don't know how to take this match anymore. I really love all of the spirit going into it, but I think all analysis is out the window. So
I think so.
I want to see the legendary sex tank, just the 6 tanks just all over the place, and that's if I don't get that, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed.
Yeah, so Sextuple Tank here, a possibility probably going to be coming out from OE on their side, as Dunkin' Donut now has switched to the Symmetra off the Torbjorn finally. So no real analysis that are going to be going on here. I think both teams know it's the end of the season. Well, hold on. Yeah.
This is actually a strategy that was used in Contenders, and it's you get the Orisa, the Bastion, and the Sim, and you just have a teleporting, basically a teleporting level 3 turret with a shield just going around the map. If you can coordinate, it's scary.
I think it would be just to have the Bastion randomly show up in random places here. Not something you would want to see. Now here comes Penguino here. He does have the ult, but I think he's ulting for no reason, as it looks like the rest of OASIS Esports has sort of fallen down by the wayside. They finally get point B with 2:42 here left on the clock. The Doomfist from Britboy going all the way around, just avoiding death at this point. Maybe he's going to try to come around and sort of get in behind and maybe do... no, Britboy goes down to Dunkin' Donut, who teleported back and killed him. So, and now the Killdozer continues as Penguino here with the Orisa. Well, there's just so much bullet spam coming in here that I'm not sure if Oasis is going to be able to break this. And it looks like a Maywall here, and Penguino actually gets rid of Pseudo, as Penguino here is just wreaking havoc here on the point. Somebody woke her up as she got slept here onto the point. Earthshatter comes in with, looks like the Earthshatter actually came through with the with the Symmetra wall. I have no idea what's going on at this point. There's the May frozen onto the point here, as the Bastion is behind about 6,000 points of shield here and just sort of raining into OE. Ulting now, finally, Penguino gets it in. In the end, I actually thought that was pretty genius to put the Bastion behind the Symmetra wall and just have him rain in there. Nobody was going to be able to get him.
If you see a Bastion with a Orisa, normally the comp you want to go is Sombra, and that's why you don't see it a lot right now. It's because Sombra's so good in the meta, and especially if you have someone that can play Tracer, play hit scan, or sort of just be in the backline, having someone with a hack can really shut it down. They weren't running it, and you have the Sim barrier, you have the Rhine barrier, you have the Orisa barrier. You're not going to get through that unless you commit to the charge, but then you're going to have to deal with a nano boosted Bastion.
So there was 7,800 points of shield that they would have needed to get through, along with a nano Bastion. That wasn't going to happen, unfortunately.
It was more than that. Rhine's 2,000, Orisa's 900.
Oh, 900. It's 7,900. It's 5,000 from the sim, right? So 5,000 plus 2,000 plus 900 is 7,900, right?
It's way more health than anything this game should have.
Yeah. So yeah, nobody was going to get through that, and you were only going to be able to do it if you came through. Penguino commits suicide here, coming out as they're trying to sort of hide what they're going to be coming out with. And I don't see 6 tanks coming out here from Transcendent, so I don't know if you're going to get your wish here, Pulse.
Oh man, it's a fun strategy to run, especially just 5 tanks and a Lucio, 6 tanks, you know.
Yeah,
it's always funny to see.
You know, you see it on places like King's Row, where the Slambulance actually is sort of fun to watch. You get like the the 4 tanks or the 5 tanks and the Lucio to come in and just see if you can actually out-damage it. One of the ways you can do it is you get like 6 range DPS and just sort of rain in on them and hope to God you can do anything. Look at this, Transcendent's here right on the doorstep, and they're going to start dancing again.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have a reunion, maybe start up the fight the same way the other team had, where it's the respect point A, but it looks like they're setting up a conga line before they
Yeah, they are. They're setting up the conga line here to just sort of get on it, and it looks like Dunkin' Donuts actually set up a turret and killed Britboy. So conga line broken.
This is the respect point A. You know, end of season, you want to do something fun. You're gonna give them point A so you can mess around a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So. Purple Dragon, though, not in a giving mood as he is. Finally, though, it looks like Penguino and Zenadine actually take out Grip and Pseudo. And Dunkin' Donut actually here. And it looks like Transcendent, even though they were given point A, doesn't look like here, finally, they're going to give back point A.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, they have the Torb now. Oh,
no. Here we go. That's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the Torb to come in, and of course the Torb here being the carry-all when it comes to this. So they're going to put the Torb here behind Grip Shield, and they're going to sort of rain on in, so there's nothing really that they can do. We're going to follow Lou the Ninja to see where he ended up going, because I'm not sure exactly what the Vera is actually doing in this particular... Oh, it looks like he's actually firing rockets into the back line here. Britboy actually eliminates Dunkin' Donut here, and it looks like Luxury Yacht's going to get taken out too, as it looks like he's going to be taken out. Penguino here's one rocket from death, doesn't get hit there, is able to sort of survive. He's in the healing there, in the sort of record, takes out both turrets here from the Symmetra. And now Penguino still one rocket from death. Finally gets taken out here as it looks like they're finally going to be able to deal with what is going on here on the point. It looks like Zenadine here, who's on a roll switch, normally on the Mercy, is now playing Hog, trying to do her best here on the Hog. Ooh, and a big Earth Shatter catches both Luxury Yacht and Zenadine, who gets deleted here. The symmetrical wall actually is going to separate both teams out as Grip is behind the wall now, just sort of swimming away at Luxury Yacht. But Luxury Yacht and Basilicon here actually able to take out both Grip and Britboy, and with 145 left here, I think Oasis here are probably not going to take point A.
Yeah, I was expecting you know, the point A trade like I was saying, but maybe they just want to play with us and make sure we get to see a game 5-10 this season.
Oh, I know.
I'm always happy for.
Do they know that I'm sick? That I actually woke up specifically for this match?
Well, I'm sure anyone listening in chat, if any of them tune in for a little bit, might hear it.
So, but now here comes Lou the Ninja and Skeleton coming in. They finally deleted the rest of Transcendent, and now they're getting the push in. So maybe they're being nice. They're finally actually giving them here point A. It's Purple Dragon with the smiley face here onto the point, and now Oasis gets to do their point B push. 3:24 here left on the clock. I'm interested to seeing how they're going to actually defend point B here. What Oasis did was they came out with the double shields to prevent sort of the Bastion Torb coming in. With Pseudo here seeing up a turret up ahead, it looks like the rest of Transcendent here are going to hang out on the top of the castle and just sort of try to defend and behind from the back here, not going to fall for the turret that's out in the front. Jumping Earthshatter here from Luxury Yacht actually gets Grip and Pseudo, but Pseudo actually ends up going. Grip actually does go down here, but Pseudo finishes off Luxury Yacht and Basilicon. As it looks like here, Zenadine actually got blown up here by Pseudo, who had the last vestiges of the Molten Core, was able to knock down the Roadhog, and now they are pushing.
Yeah, El Penguino needs to be a little bit more careful there on the side. While I was giving him really good sightlines, the team was saw out by the far, and when you're a lone Ana that's been spotted by your daughter, that's when you kind of know that you need to just accept it.
Yeah, and it looks like here Luxury Yacht coming in is actually going to be defending here right at the bridgeway. There's a sim turret right up there too. I'm surprised Duncan actually doesn't put all of the turrets up there, because they probably wouldn't be expecting it here right now. Purple Dragon actually eliminates Skeleton right here on the point. 156 here left on the clock. They're going to run this a little close. Big giant symmetrical wall comes into play. That turret's not going to really do anything now. They can just sort of sit there and say hello to the rest of Oasis here. who are just sort of stalling here onto the point. The Nano boost here actually comes in for Dunkin' Donut here. So they're going to try to push her in on a Nano Symmetra. Now Grip actually counters with a Fire Strike of his own. Purple Dragon is able to eliminate both Pseudo and Grip. But kills now coming in from Lou the Ninja. As Oasis here still showing in the work as a little bit of the playing around here is going to cost Transcendence. Zenadine in the back here with the Sombra, able to sort of eliminate Hawksign, but the payload is still moving. Luxury out here.
Luxury is able to come out and just make sure it doesn't gain more distance, because the Lucio v Ryan, you kind of have to respect the Ryan's Lucio there.
Yeah, and it looks like Lou the Ninja was able to ult Penguino and Dunkin' Donut coming out of the spawn here, so they're going to wait for Oasis to sort of come on back. Skelkin here, actually, it was alive long enough. He was basically face up with the Ryan who had the shield up. Nothing new, a 1v1 Widow on last point is what they're calling, so BritBoy asking for a 1v1 here at the end. It looks like it will be BritBoy against Basilicon here. We're going to try to focus on one of the other two. Let's see who gets the point here. So Basilicon here will be my F11 key. Basilicon on a 130 pin is trying to finish off BritBoy as the fight here is on point C. And BritBoy gets the better of Basilicon here on the actually the point. Lou the Ninja is actually finishing off Luxuriot and Basilicon here. Oasis not getting that point through.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
BritBoy manages to knock down Basilicon again.
Again, yeah.
From the side as the spawn changed. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it really does. And now here comes the payload moving in with 130 here left on the clock, trying to rotate camera views to see who I can get. And it looks like it's going to be Pseudo here on that turret. Doesn't actually get enough as that payload here is still moving and is coming through the payload door. As it looks like the rest of Oasis Esports here. Luxuriot is able to sort of come in and sort of hold on. It's like Nano Ryan's here fighting on the point. Earthshatter comes in, doesn't really get anybody as Luxuriot finally gets deleted here with the help of the Ananade. 60 seconds here left on the clock here. Oasis looking pretty stalled out here. Grip and Pseudo here onto the point. I don't think they're trying very hard here. I think we're absolutely going to see a fifth map here. We're going to see an Ilios because I don't think they're going to be able to sort of break through this sort of choke here. BritBoy on the on the Sombra now, not going to be able to sort of do anything.
Yeah, and it's definitely like looking like they want to take this to a map 5.
Yeah, and it looks like Lou's just trying to pad the kills there with another ult. Doesn't really get anybody there. Basilicon is able to sort of reflect it right back into Lou's face. And now with 17 seconds here left to go, all they have to do is just finish them off, and that's going to do it there with only 10 seconds in the spawn timer. Looks like Oasis here not going to be pushing in. We're going to go to Ilios here as the bomb's going to come in behind the shield, takes out BritBoy. 0 seconds ticks down, and we're going 5. Transcendent here. We will see a map 5 here on the final day of the OWLET tournament.
Play of the game.
Just gotta respect that 5-man kill on the Mei there.
Yeah,
it's the only play of the game that could.
You know, I am not a Mei fan. I hate Mei because Mei is one of the more annoying characters. You know, the way you play against Mei is, of course, you stay at range, don't let Mei get anywhere near you and freeze you, and don't let her be as annoying. But those walls, if used properly to stop you from actually attacking, can be problematic. So.
It's the Mei curse too. It's You play against the Mei, they have the best walls in the game. You know, they belong on Overwatch League. If there's a Mei on your team, then they just wall you and spawn. So
yeah, so it looks like here I'm going to actually update the scoreboard here live. So Transcendent won that one 3-1. So we're going to go to Ilios, and
that was a 3-2 match.
Oh, what is it? A 3-2 match? Excuse me, 3-2. Yeah.
They got into the castle. Remember the 1v1?
Oh, that's right.
The Widow 1v1. Gotta respect the victory there.
So So yeah, we'll be going here into Elios in just a sec. And there is a final score here that we're going to be able to put up. And the winner of this match will actually be declared here at the end. But possibly a surprise for you coming here into Elios, knowing this is the final day. Get ready for any comp possible here from both teams. It'll be interesting to see what they come out with. And it looks like
It looks like they're talking about some strats in the chat, so we'll save to talk. We'll wait to talk about it until the round actually starts and they solidify. But it's looking like it's going to be a fun match.
It's going to be a fun ending here, folks. It's like, think of this as the fireworks that you'll see at the end of a Super Bowl or as the Premier League, as they say, because the Premier League doesn't have playoffs. But this for the final day here, we're going to put on a show for you a little bit here, as Transcendent's going to adjust their lineup a little bit. Looks like they're going to be substituting a couple players here in and out to play for the final game. Oh, no, it looks like it's going to be, OASIS that's going to be substituting. Probably bringing Raxling back in, who wasn't in the game earlier. So, just trying to make sure I've got my overlays here. So now, also, I want to update you on scores of other games here. WSOL beats Deadlock Gang 3-2. Deadlock Gang not looking like they were going to actually go above, but it is... I want to know what the score of the Rensenshine FU match. That has not come through yet. That started at 9:30, but the scores have not been updated. MSXL now up 2-0 here, up on nap time, as Top Ramen also up 2-1 on Lotus. Lotus actually taking Nepal. Lotus looking like they're able to get Nepal off of Top Ramen. So good job onto the girls of Lotus there, being able to win a map there. They unfortunately, with no wins in the stage, are going to be going for their first win. Let's hopefully they get it. Nap time also going for their first win, but that's going to be a tough go against Microsoft Excelsior. So, but those are your score updates, folks.
And see, everyone's just having fun in chat right now.
Everybody's having fun.
They're just waiting for it to go.
Yeah, so we're gonna come in and we're gonna have a little special here. We're gonna have an interview here with both teams. I think we're going to start with OASIS and Transcendent, and just the sort of end of the year stuff, folks. Just going to throw in there for just extended cast time. Just going to throw in there. I also want to say congratulations to both OASIS and Transcendent on having a great season. So this was a total, get this, of 12 weeks. 4 stages, 3 weeks apiece. This lasted 3 months here. They're allowed to have fun, folks. So we're going to see some fireworks here on the final map. I'm going to just mention that we are ready, but it's going to be interesting here to see on the final day what is going to come out of both OASIS here and Transcendent on Elios.
It looks like they're waiting the final readies into the game, but they have what looks like they have arranged a special lineup for each of the Ilios maps, and a different one for the first, second, and third one.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like Vive is going to be at least low key enforcing it. So
yeah, it could be. They actually could have decided this on being a Lucio Ball final. That would have been an option that they could have done. 3v3 OASIS Transcendent Lucio Ball final game, but that's not going to happen. They're not going to allow that. Instead, we're going to go to Elios here.
Yeah, I mentioned Lucio Ball in chat, and I think I got everyone excited. So
yeah.
We'll see how this works out. So
let's see how this works out.
The first comp I believe they agreed on is only damage heroes. So this is going to be 6v6 only damage heroes is what I believe it's going to be.
Interesting. 6v6 damage only, folks. So we're not going to see any healing. So this is going to basically boil down into a more of a skill. It's almost like a skill thing. So you'll see damage heroes from both sides. So defense and offense with no healing here, but Grip coming out on the soldier is a healer.
Yeah. And I've talked about a couple teams with this before, but the 6v6 only damage meta, what you really want is a lot of self-sustain. Oh, and we have a disconnect.
Oh, no. It looks like Duncan has come in and come back.
All right. But the thing about this damage meta is you want some form of self-sustain. So that's where Soldier and Sombra come in. And they're really handy because they have that health pack and they have the station, right? And then you want the Tracer just because of the blink and the self-sustain. And Genji's pretty good to take advantage of the Sombra health pack. So is Doomfist. So it's if you can get a couple flanks, a couple of one-shot potential and just some consistent damage, that's generally where you want to be with the all DPS meta.
Yeah, it'll be interesting here. So Purple Dragon coming out on the Torb is also going to be really annoying. But we have a Bastion coming out on the side of Oasis. So it'll be interesting to see from both teams. And here they come.
3, 2,
So let's see how the teams go here with this 6v6 damage. And it looks like Penguino will be on the side of Transcendent, will be actually the Doomfist here coming in for Transcendent. Salaryman here on the Sombra. And let's see how they do. It looks like Grip and Raxling here, they're all going on the high ground, as Skeleton here is actually going to set up on the top. Luxuriat and Nomgrom actually get deleted right away as Raxling comes in and gets rid of them. Raxling going huge, gets 3, and it looks like this is going one way as Oasis here will win the DPS battle initially.
I was expecting Salaryman to pull off some amazing hacks there, but unfortunately Raxling just started way too strong. Just started combo after combo. So as you sure a lot of people know, you got to watch out for the giant Smash Brother coming at your face.
Well, it's also a good point. It's a good time to also mention that All-Star Game voting is still open, folks, and Raxling trying to basically earn your All-Star vote right here on this Doomfist, trying to eliminate as many people as he can by himself as he's sort of going in. It looks like the fight now has gone back to the point, but Transcendent can't do anything as Dunkin' Donut here on the Hanzo. It's deleted by Grip and Pseudo here. Gets rid of Salaryman. This is just not the way that Transcendent wanted to come into this fight. And as I was saying, All-Star voting steer is still open, so therefore you vote for your favorite Oasis and Transcendent player for the All-Star game, which will be happening in October after the playoffs. So make sure you get your vote in. Everybody's able to vote once for every class of player, and for coaches, and for casters, and for stuff. So make sure you do that. So fight here continues here on the point as Lula Ninja deletes Luxuriat, and Britboy gets rid of Salaryman here. What does Transcendent here have to do to get a kill here in the fight? It looked like Duncan finally got Skeleton down, but it's just not going their way.
Yeah, to shut down a Doomfist, the first couple things you got to think about are who can one-shot him back. So either the Doomfist duel, Widow, Hanzo, or you want a Sombra just to shut him down. And right now they're not running the Sombra, so they really have to rely on El Penguino and Duncan to sort of keep Raxling from going ham.
Yeah, and unfortunately Raxling's just been doing his thing the entire time here. We've been riding along with him here on camera, just making sure. They've gotten back onto point here. It looked like there is one person here from Transcendent here on point as Raxling is going to eliminate Dunkin' Donut, and all the people are now dead. Penguino here has gone to the Widow, but that DPS player not going to be able to do it as Oasis gets first blood on 6v6 DPS here.
0 to 1.
All right. I'm not sure if can see chat right now, Hodo, but as you can see, this round is going to be the tank round. So only tanks coming in from the players.
Oh, right. And it'll be interesting to see what we see tank-wise because, Raxling going to the Hog here, but it is 6 tanks, so whoever is... It's going to be interesting because Pseudo then will end up going onto the Hamster, and let's see what comes out here from Transcendent. Penguino hasn't switched yet. Oh, Penguino is going to the Hamster. Salaryman here on the Orisa, and now I expect maybe some boops. I see hooks here. So watch Duncan, watch Raxling. I think there are going to be a lot of hooks here into the well with 6v6 on the well here. Maybe some
also with the Orisa Holtz.
Yeah, Orisa Holtz, and maybe from some boops here from Nomgrom and from Pseudo here on the Hamster. Oh, there goes Luxury Yacht, and Luxury Yacht is our first victim to the boop. So Luxury Yacht goes into the hole here, but it looks like on the point, it looks like it's Transcendent here is having a good time, but it looks like they're finally outnumbered as the fight actually matriculated into the house there into the lighthouse on the left on the windmill. But Dunkin' Donut actually is able to get 2. Nomgrom takes out Lula Ninja too, and Transcendent here does not want to give up this point without a fight. Pseudo in the back line fighting on the hamster, but it gets deleted here, and now it looks like 6v2 here as Nomgrom's able to sort of delete the Orisa, and Tanks looks like it's going to Transcendent.
That's the great first pick we want to see in the game, just Raxling dunking someone into the kill hole. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough to end it early, and Transcendent is able to make a really good, Transcendent is able to make a really good comeback and get control of this point.
And for those who saw that, BritBoy charged from the side, off the ledge, into the ocean, with only getting no one in that chance. He sort of killed himself on that charge here. As we continue with the 6v6 tanks, and looks like a great ult there. It's going to prevent and zone out the rest of Transcendent from getting back onto the point here. And then now it's Oasis's turn here to push on Transcendent. They're pushing them all the way back to spawn here. Luxury out charging in here against Raxling, trying to get anybody, and a Graviton here right by the door, and mine's dropped. Oh, a bomb drops in, but doesn't get behind the shield, so unable to sort of defend from that. And now it's Transcendent here going to be trying to push onto the point. The fights here taking place in not your typical spots here in the 6v6 tank fights. As Pseudo and Celery Man here are now sort of fighting it out. Diva Bomb gets sent into the back of... Oh, and BritBoy gets deleted there. That bomb was looking like it was completely out of range. He didn't have his shield up. He thought he was probably free from it, but that's not going to do it. Transcendent here is going to win this fight again.
And that's another hook into the pit for Raxling, too.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Raxling here. Oh, that's a third one. Three from Raxling. We saw Nomgrom. He thought he had the shield. He only got shielded after he got hooked. So too little, too late
but
there.
He actually made his way back out.
Did he really?
So, quite the Hammond.
Great job there. Oh, another ult there into the doorway as Raxling is able to take out Celery Man and Nomgrom finally. 66% here as they've blockaded their way off the point, and it looks like poor Grip is by himself as another Diva Bomb here is trying to zone out the rest of Transcendent here. And it looks like Pseudo got deleted right away as they're trying to sort of push in here. Lots of heavy. Graviton actually gets pulled right onto the doorway here, and it traps, looks like Oasis in the doorway. Nothing on that bomb, though, as El Penguino and Lou the Ninja, did you make this best out of 5? I don't know.
They want to go to the third round because the round after this was supposed to be the only healer round.
Oh, that's right.
So they really wanted to make sure that they got at least one of every class in. So you might see some soft throwing here, but even if not, it was a great game to watch, especially a great ending.
Yeah, so it looks like here they did not actually do it, so we will see some soft throwing here coming out, possibly from Oasis, as Paul said here, just so to make sure that we get all 5 games. Nomgrom actually comes into the back. Let's see what kind of interesting kills we get here from Transcendent. As it looks like BritBoy here, they're actually going to try to get the point here as Nomgrom actually comes across, gets Deep Skeleton right into a charge from Luxury Yacht. Finally, kills here coming in on the side of Transcendent. 65% here. They've got to make up another 35% as down goes Grip. The fight continues. But
yeah, all these tanks, you know, when you see a tank heavy comp, you always know that it's going to go into a brawl fight. Like, you're going to see Ryan swinging, you're going to see Divas crying as they have to use up all their defense matrix on the Ryan. But everyone's going to be in each other's face, and that's exactly what's happening here.
The Silicon not finding any health packs, unfortunately. It's like, looks like a Diva Bomb actually gets sent into the windmill. Nothing doing, as now we're at 99-99. A bomb in the back takes out Celery Man here. As the fight continues here onto the point, can anybody get can get sent back in the hole? Duncan maybe looking for a hook there? No, not necessarily. As Pseudo and Skeleton here. Oh, another ult here. Well, closing off the doorway, as it looks like the point is actually going to change over. No! It looks like able to sort of come back as Nomgrom is able to sort of stay alive here as Duncan Nona pushing everyone off the point here with that big ult, but gets killed. And now the point has switched over to Oasis. And now they're just trying to finish off the rest of Transcendent here as Purple Dragon actually gets demeched as Luxury Yacht. Oh, Luxury Yacht.
And the one final one for Raxling.
One final
before
one
he jumps in the pit himself.
As it looks like here, Graviton actually comes out here as Lou the Ninja actually is going to get killed. Now the point will switch up. We will go to a map 3 because Transcendent will end up winning the well. Nice.
That was a match.
That was a match, absolutely. So now
I got to see my 6 tank. I got to see 2 6 tank actually, and it's going to the best of 3, best of 5 full match. So we get to see full heals now. 6v6 heals.
Okay, so 6v6 heals here. The person to watch will be the Zenyatta. Because by far, I think so you will actually have somewhat of a standard comp because Brigitte will be your tank. Huh?
Yeah. So you have Lucio Moira heals. Obviously, Mercy on damage, of course. But the Zenyatta and the Ana, if you're playing this if you decide to go into comp and try this, Zenyatta and Ana are how you really want to have your star players, because the anti-heals and the damage from Zenyatta
are going to be
important. And the anti-heals from Ana are key for this.
If they would have said healers no anti-grenades, we would be here until Christmas because everybody would be alive forever. So like the problem with going 6v6 healers here is you need to get kills, and the only way you're going to be getting kills is with a grenade, and that was a big one that actually was hit. So down both go Skeleton and Grip. Grip actually takes out Dunkin' Donut. But remember, there are reses here, so we're going to see fights go back and forth, but it looks like Oasis here, better use of the Ana grenades and wipe out Transcendent. They get the first point win on 6v6 healers.
Some big nades coming out from Raxling again. So.
There you go. So Raxling not on the Zen, but instead on the Ana. And you were right. Put your star players on the Zen and the Ana here, and then you'll get your results here. As it looks like Luxury Yacht immediately was slept and purpled. But Raxling actually ends up going down here on the Ana. So this is Transcendent going to be able to sort of go in. They don't have an Ananade on the other side. So if they're able to use their Ananade properly, they're going to be able to sort of wipe out the members of OE here. And a transled out Coalescence. Grip trying to come out with the Coalescence, doesn't get it. And now it's Transcendent who wins on that push.
I'm really hoping that we get to the point where both teams respect the alt bank and we just see one fight with 6 support alts from both sides come out. Because it's really looking like Transcendent's building up to that right now. They have 4 alts, and they're missing Transcendence and Valkyrie, but they might not be the flashiest alts. You still have Nano, you still have Rally, you have Sound Barrier, and you have the Coalescence. So
I call that an fiesta. That's what I call it.
There'll be a lot of visual effects going on your screen, so hopefully you guys brought a good jacket.
Basilicon asking in chat how many people does it take to kill an Ana? Apparently 7. As we get dual Transcendences come out from both sides. A Rally now comes out. This is the fiesta that you were calling for. The only thing that hasn't come out is the Coalescence, and there it is from Luxury Yacht. Nobody, and it looks like Lou the Ninja gets Raxling back up. But it looks like I don't think they're going to be going anywhere, as the anti here is not going to be able to come out to get sort of anyone on the side of Transcendent. But Transcendent finally going down here as they're able to sort of move Luxury out of her off the point. Luxury trying to get back to the point, doesn't get back in time. She's by herself. The 6v6 healers, even 6v6, you're going to end. Oh no, he doesn't die! Oh no, finally dies. Raxling's finally going to be able to get him right there at the end.
The Discord Ana shot's always something to be terrified again. But Raxling again setting up in that forward flank position to try and sleep someone as they walk through this door, maybe get a good nade on them as well.
Yeah, I see 99-99 in our future pulse. Based on the way that these fights have been going, Basilicon has left the game. Finally, it looks like here at the end.
Yeah, I guess couldn't handle all the excitement from this and decided to maybe, you know, tab out and get something to eat or finish homework or something along the line.
Oh yeah, it is school night, folks, for everybody that has been out there. As the Transcendence here now comes out from Britboy, as they're trying to build up the point percentage here. They're already at 86, as it looks like Dunkin' Donut, with the wings here, is able to sort of go out and fly onto the point and sort of contest, but she's still alive. No, down she goes, and El Penguino here also goes down. Rally comes out for Purple Dragon here. They might want to nade her to get the to nullify all of that healing and armor that's going to try to come out. but it looks like Lou the Ninja here has been nano boosted. So they boosted the Mercy on the other side is trying to shoot down. We're at 99% here. So it looks like here there's only Luxury Yacht and Pinguino here on the point. Pinguino doesn't have the ult yet, and it's going to be the Enenade that's going to try to take anybody out. Luxury Yacht actually got nano boosted here, and it's only going to be able to Mercy. Oh, it looks like Duncan is back. Duncan immediately goes down, and down goes Pinguino, and that is going to be that, folks. OASIS Esports wins the 6v6 battle on Ilios. And that is going to end our matches for the night, and that is going to be that here for OASIS and Transcendent. Thank you to both of them here for participating in OWLET. It was a pleasure.
It was, I think, probably one of the best ways to go out. It was quite a fun match to watch, especially in this sort of almost all-star-esque game they had at the end where they were just definitely having fun with it. And I'm sure it was a fantastic way to end season 1 of OWLET.
Yeah, it absolutely was. So 3, that goes to OASIS 2-1. I'm actually going to drop us into OASIS's. Let's see if we can actually get into their Discord server and we can actually talk to Grip or to people from Transcendent here. Let's see who we get here that is available here. So see if you can drop into the OASIS Esports. Nope, looks like I'm locked out.
They're role locked.
They're role locked, unfortunately. I'm not going to be able to interview anybody. But if you are listening, can we? I'll just let them know.
We could potentially move to a showcase room. It looks like those ones aren't role locked.
Yeah. So it just want to get a last. So where's this? Oh, Grip. No, it looks like all of OASIS is gone, so I'm not going to be able to get them. Maybe Transcendent. Transcendent is
not everyone is gone from OASIS. There's 3 people left from both teams.
Oh, it looks like Lou's going to. Let's see if Lou can come in here into Caster 5. Unless he can. Just going to pretend here a second. Let's do interviews. I am the new owner of the game, apparently, but let's go. Yeah, let's go to Showcase Live. Maybe that'll get in there. Let's see. So coming to Showcase. Let's see. So, Pulse, you there?
Yes, I am here.
And Lou, are you there?
Hey, yeah. How's it going, guys?
Oh, all right. So I am here with Lou the Ninja here from OASIS Esports. Actually, Britain Boy said to join the nest if you want an interview. Everyone's here. Okay, everybody's in the nest. So let's go to the nest.
Yeah, everyone's in the nest.
Yeah, let's go to the nest. Okay, where is the nest?
Below the.
Oh man, it's up top.
Yeah,
openings on our team.
All right, folks. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, it is. Hi, everyone. It is Hodohori and Pulse joining OE and Transcendence here after the final game. Interesting 6v6, shall I say, there at the very end.
As if the rest of it was not interesting.
Well, it was just a 66.
Yeah. Interesting.
Happens every match.
Yeah. First and foremost, I wanted to just sort of thank both teams here for participating in OWLET. OE had a heartbreaker on Sunday, so unfortunately, because of that, I think because of the way the records are going to go and the differential, you don't get into the playoff. And Transcendent, you just came in on the 4th stage, but hell of a showing, 4th stage coming out, right? So good stuff by Transcendent. So like I know you guys just, so first question here is to Transcendent here. What's the future plans here now that OWLET is over for Team Transcendent?
I can talk about it. So we're definitely looking forward to season 2 at this point, and we're probably gonna have a few graduates, so we're gonna be putting out some feelers soon to bring in some new players. But we're gonna get right back at the grind after a little bit of a break. I think everyone kind of deserves it at this point. But yeah, we're gonna try to change up our comps a little bit. You guys probably noticed, or some teams might have noticed, we run dive mostly the entire time. We're probably gonna be changing up a bit for season 2 with the metas changing a bit.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, season 2 is probably going to be on the horizon relatively soon, but I think everybody's going to be in for a break. What about for Oasis there? Any tournaments that you guys are going to be signing up for in the future? Or are you going to be? Are you guys going to be taking a break also?
We are fully not sure. We definitely want to stay as a team. I think when I speak for everyone here when we say we want to stay as a team and play together.
Yeah.
We're definitely,
Yeah.
I think nothing in set in stone yet.
Yeah, we literally enjoy playing with each other. So, this break will probably be temporary. We'll get back to playing with each other, and then see where it goes from there.
Oh, all right. Well, there are a lot of tournaments out there, and is the way that everybody's been saying, like, everybody's SRs have been steadily going up.
Yeah.
So we might see.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Compliment
the difference
Mine's
between us.
Mine's been going down.
So, but
Mine just fluctuates all the time.
yeah. So it's like if you've got that SR addiction, like one of our friends does, it's like you'll be on the highest of highs one day and the lowest of lows in another. But
I know friendships during this I met Hodo last year during one of these tournaments. He wasn't on my team, but we kind of became sister teams and eventually merged. So
yeah, so
with it, really fun to keep staying around and playing tournaments.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, like I think the way that Overwatch is probably going to go forward in the future because the ladder is such, can be such crap.
Garbage. I mean,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, it sort of sucks unless you get it up there and then you're just playing with randos. But final question to both teams. Besides, who are your predictions on winning this whole thing? So Transcendent, you actually came into stage 4 and was only able to play a certain amount of teams, but I didn't know if you had a chance to sort of scrim with any of the other teams here in OWLET. So
we did. We scrimmed a few times, or at least I know we scrimmed once with Furious Unicorns. I might be going in to help them out a little bit for the playoffs. We'll see, but I'm rooting for Furious Unicorns. There's a few players on the team that I've coached already, and I'd love to see them make a run at it.
Yeah, I coach Blue on FU, so I'm looking forward for him to sort of perform there for Furious Unicorns on the other side. What about you guys over in OE? Are you guys who do you guys predict on winning this whole thing in the end?
I'll take a crack at it first. I'll say for nice purposes, I'm going to say Furious Unicorns because Leo's on it and Leo's an absolute lad.
Yeah.
But for actual predictions, definitely Microsoft.
Yeah, I think OE's pulling for Leo and Furious Unicorns.
Yeah.
We really want.
We really like those guys.
Dick.
We like those guys.
Those guys are, some of the nicest guys around. I think they're one of the chillest teams. They're definitely one of the I think the example of OWLET, as everyone should be. They're up there.
They are class for sure. So, any shout outs here from the end from both? So, Transcendence, you've been first the entire time. So, any shout outs to anybody out there watching you guys? Any of your fans there out on Twitch who you want to say?
Yeah, we've got a few. Duncan, you can probably say a few of the fans that are out there that watch you and come by every single stream.
Yeah, I know Murakami always comes to the stream. Both of them, every single time, he's supporting the team and supporting me. And Platypus is one of our biggest fans, and he's a really good Demon player that plays with us almost every time we decide to stack. So we love him. We love both of them.
Yeah, they've each got #1 fan in our Discord, so definitely love having them come by and support the team. And I mean, just anyone who comes by and supports us, we absolutely love it. So, yeah.
Well, for Oasis, how about you, BritBoy? Anybody you want to give a shout out for?
Yes, you guys for being amazing casters and always providing us interesting, insightful commentary on every single one of our games. So
definitely the casters.
Yeah.
Definitely the casters. Especially you, Hoda.
You kill it every time.
If I'm allowed to, I would love to give a shout out to my dog, Winston.
Well, there you
go. He supports me in every single way.
And Miss Marked, if you're watching, man, that was a fun game. I hope you watched it. It was a lot of fun.
So, does your dog Winston also leap and have a shield also?
I'm working on it.
All right. So thank you both for playing. And this is the end of season interview with OASIS Esports and Transcendent as we end the OWLET broadcast here with 2 class teams here in a 5-gamer. Unfortunately, both teams couldn't win. It was Oasis here at the end, 2-1. That takes.
I think everyone won that game.
Everybody.
I don't think the score matters.
Everybody's a winner here in OWLET. But yeah, so if anybody's watching this stream, and if you're interested in Season 2, join the Discord, look for the signups, look for the instructions. You'll be able to play both of these teams here in the upcoming season, in Season 2, and there are probably going to be more teams, as there's been a lot of good press here for OWLET. So, final thoughts, Pulse, and anything? Any questions to either of the two teams, or any shout-outs for yourself?
I want to thank you, Hodo, for letting me cast with you. I know I sort of joined into OWLET late. This was my second cast with you guys, but it's been super fun both times I've done it. And I also wanted to say that I know OWLET's looking forward to expanding next season, and I hear that they're potentially going to do some above Diamond division. So if you're interested and are above Diamond, then you can look forward to that as well.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be some sort of like open division. That's going to be like, you know, anybody that can play. So therefore, you don't. It's more of an upper level restriction than anything else. So like, if you are a lower SR but do want to play with your diamond buddies, I think that's supposed to be what it's supposed to do. So like, you know, be on the lookout for that, and then be on the lookout for playoffs. Britboy, I heard you're on the roster for playoff casters. Is that right?
I believe I am, yeah. Hopefully I sadly haven't been able to do much casting due to school, work, and being sick sometimes, so hopefully I'll get back into the groove of it very shortly. Yeah, it's always a blast.
So you'll be able to catch Britboy here from OASIS E-Sports here on one of the casts. Playoffs start in 2 weeks, I think. I need to do my stage recap show, and then there's a break week before we get into the quarterfinals. But for Pulse, who was Vive, who was our referee, and for both, you know, Transcendent and OASIS Esports, who have been graciously being able to give us their time here on this interview. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here for the end of OWLET. So we catch us again in a week or so for the playoffs, where we will start with the quarterfinals. Who knows what game I'll get, but we will proceed on all the way to the finals on this channel and on the OWLET main channel. And to everyone at home, thanks so much. We will see you next time.